let's kick off. How many of you started CrossFit because you saw an ad? Did anybody here start CrossFit? Yeah. Did anybody?
I came back.
You came back because you saw an ad?
Because of Friends Week.
Because of Bring a Friend Week? Very cool. Good to hear that. But how many of you started because a friend invited you to CrossFit? Just a handful of you? What were some of the other reasons you started? I'd love to hear.
I saw a CrossFit competition. I had no idea what CrossFit was, so I signed up for it.
What? And it wasn't a strongman competition?
No, I was going from strongman to bodybuilding at the time, back in 2010 or 11.
Yeah?
I had no idea what CrossFit was. Got my ass handed to me for five rounds. And, all right.
I'm in. I'm going to keep doing this thing. Very cool. Well, I think you guys get the punchline of this joke. There's a myth going around in the CrossFit space. You need ads to grow your business. And as Dwight Schrute would say, anybody know Office fans in here? Oh, lots of Office. Well, if you want, we can skip this presentation and just talk about Diversity Day, and might be a little bit better. Instead, there's a super reliable and infinitely scalable way to attract new members and hit that untapped potential at your box. And today I'm going to show you how to organically grow your gym without having ads. For the record, though, who does run ads? A handful of you? Are you guys experiencing success with ads? Some?
Not as much as it used to be, but yeah. Costs a lot more now.
Were you at the gym with me this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sweaty, hotel
I was telling everybody, I was like, the gym was like, it was so hot. I went back to the room, showered, and immediately started sweating again. It was like 80 degrees. I loved it. You're like, he's being super polite. He's like trying to wipe everything down. That poor girl, it's clearly her first day working at that hotel, like the other day. And I know you went out there. The two of us are in there. Like, it was like we got sprayed by a fire hose. He comes back in, he has like 2 washcloths. I was like, what? I just wiped my face and I was like, all right. Anyway, most box owners have no idea how to grow their gym. And how many of you have this thought, we didn't open our gym to make a lot of money? Who currently thinks that? It's okay to be honest, we can work. No. Who at some point in their journey thought that? What changed? I'm interested. What changed?
I think the idea that you guys talked about a little bit of being able to help more people and being able to have a bigger space and offer more. We couldn't do that. The original idea was, hey man, we're gonna have this thing. I can have a gym, won't cost me anything. We'll have more than 60, 70 members, and it'll be cool. And then it starts growing and growing. Because the thing, you want to help a lot more people, and you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, and at some point, yeah, if you don't make money, the people that are not paying you enough are costing you the opportunity to help other people. And we'll talk a little bit more just about, you have to have the opportunity to help others. And Fern put it really well. We recorded a podcast yesterday, and he said, by saying I'm not in it to make money, what I'm really saying is I'm not going to give other people the opportunity that I had to help others, right? How many of you now have, or how many of you coach somewhere? So do you not own the affiliate? You coach, you're here as a coach, right? So someone gave you that opportunity to be doing this and then sent you here. And then how many of you affiliate owners now have staff that are paid, right? They're essentially saying, like, I really admire what you've done and I want to do this. And by not charging enough, we're not going to be able to give more opportunity there. We hear this, right? And in order to help people, we need to grow the business. So what happens if your box doesn't grow? Who's experienced one of these 4 things? Rather, who's not paid themselves for periods of time? Yeah, I've been there. Who has felt burnout? You know what typically a company is not paying yourself? Burning out, right? Like, what typically solves burning out? It's like, I'm working really hard. Know what'll make me feel better? Feeling compensated for my time and energy. And then ultimately, if we're not getting paid at some point, passion has a shelf life, we're going to shut this thing down. Owners that are growing their gym, have more revenue, pay themselves, spend more time. Who as an entrepreneur is now able to spend more time and be more present with their family? Isn't that why we do this thing? Right? Sure, it's cool to make money, but it's also really cool to do what's important in your life. How do you know if you're growing enough? This is something that Fern came up with, the Sick Well Fit Continuum. You guys have seen it in CrossFit where we can put any biomarker on here, from blood pressure to body fat to resting heart rate. Well, what we've learned is if you're losing members on a monthly basis, we'd classify that as sick, right? You're in the negative. If you're somewhere around break even or very, very, very slow growth, we can look at well, and no different than your training, net 3. So we refer to something net 3. If you're growing by 3 a month, 36 a year, you're fit. How do you get to net 3? How many of you do know your numbers and know whether or not you are growing by 3 or more currently? Many of you? What are you growing by?
I mean, it depends. So we were actually negative the last 2 months, and then we're net 6 this month.
Yeah, and I think like anything, weight loss, your fitness, taking a snapshot is one thing. You have to be able to zoom out and look at the trends there, right? It's not, hey, January's +3, February's +3. You go down 2 months consecutively, but up 6. Cool. Hopefully we go up 6 again, and all of a sudden we're actually net 3. Yeah. Is this a metric everyone's tracking? Is anyone not tracking this? Not?
Well, we haven't opened yet, but not tracking.
Big Gratitude CrossFit? Where's that going to be? In Gratitude? What's
And
up?
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia.
Yes.
All right, cool.
How do you track that? Is it like through your managing?
Many different ways depending on the platform, though. Some platforms, Fern, does Push Press now have this as one of the metrics? And I believe Wodify does as well. Yeah, so depending on, Push Press is here, I recommend talking to them. But many of the other platforms track this. But essentially, how many members did we have last month? How many do we have this month? And we want to, zoom out for annually, et cetera. 2 ways to grow your box. So decrease churn. The longer we can keep a member, the better. We have found that if we can keep a member for 180 days, we can essentially keep them for 3+ years. There's definitely data to support that. So keeping members and then obviously increasing sales, be it leads, showing up for consultations, conversion. And we've created a system that truly maximizes both, because you need both things. We need to be increasing leads, we need to be increasing sales while improving retention. And it's based on referrals. Who has a referral offer at their box? Handful of you. So I hope that by the time you leave this, 1, I've given you some strategies to either A, run Bring a Friend Week, or B, improve your Bring a Friend Week. And along with that, think about the referral offer that you make at your affiliate, because many of you, right, no one raised their hands because we saw an ad. I know you came back to the box through an ad, but most of you had a friend that brought you in. And word of mouth is often the best source of referrals at the box. 92% of consumers trust referrals. 82% of Americans seek out recommendations from family. Consumers discuss specific brands. 83% of customers, blah, blah, blah. Point is, people talk to one another. And if the people at your box are having a good time, if they're seeing progress, if they're getting fitter, if they're doing what we all started CrossFit for, to look better naked, if they're, right, Danny? Yeah. If they're looking better naked, their friends and family are going to know it. But you know what they say about how do you know a CrossFitter? I'll tell you. You all knew that one. All right. Referrals are a key indicator of the health of your business. Referrals are a major predictor of the future growth of your business. What is a healthy amount of referrals? Well, same thing on the continuum. If our referrals are less than our cancellations, obviously, right, we're losing members. If we're equal, we're at well, and our goal would be to get more referrals than we have cancellations. So here's the thing. How do we get more referrals? Well, it starts with Bring a Friend Week, getting your members to grow your gym for you. Coach Glassman used to say, I don't market because I have an army of marketers that work for free for me.
If you're enjoying this content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, if you're interested in what we do in Affiliate University, there's going to be a link somewhere around this video. Book a call. We'd love to talk to you about how we can help you build a better box.
Who has run Bring a Friend Week? Wow, who has run Bring a Friend Week because they heard of it through Best Hour or did our course? Cool. So some of you have run it independently of us. Cool. That's great to hear too, because I hope to help you. Because running Bring a Friend Week, like anything, great. It's like doing Fran. Like, cool, you did Fran. Now if we do it with your weight and your heels and we lock out overhead, all of a sudden we're going to get that time down. Those of you that ran it, who got 5 or more members that week? Awesome. 10? And a coach? We don't even guarantee that in our guaranteed to bring you 10 members and 1 coach. Anybody get 15 or more? All right, we've had plenty of affiliates. I think, what did Christy hit, Fern? 20? 80? Yeah, big gratitude. You're thinking about it now. 80, I mean, people are like, I can't even handle if 82 people. Sure, you can handle it. When Ranwell Bring a Friend Week works. So let's talk about how to run a high-performing Bring a Friend Week. And it's more than just putting it up on social media. So again, my goal is to give you the strategies to run a really successful Bring a Friend Week. 82 might be a little bit of an outlier. I don't want you to leave here and be like, well, he promised 82, we got 70, this was a failure. The goal is to grow the box. 4 steps to run a Bring a Friend Week as an organic lead generating machine. So step 1 is make this referral offer. And it's nice to piggyback this off of Bring a Friend Week, but this is something, you can implement at any time at the affiliate and should stay as part of your affiliate year-round, not just during Bring a Friend Week. So let's talk about what a solid referral offer looks like. It should incentivize both parties, obviously. The person that's already a member doing the referring and the referee. Keep it simple. So we've seen this go wrong. Like, hey, if you bring somebody in, you get 8% off of t-shirts, 12% off supplements, you get a free session over here. We want to keep it super simple so they can understand it, repeat it back to you. Give X, get X. Let's talk about what X is. The higher the amount, the better it will perform. And it should be no more than 40%. So, broadly speaking, the referral offer. 40% to the person doing the referring, 40% off for the person that's coming in. And the reason we like 40% is because whether or not you have agreements at your affiliate, if these people were to leave, you still were profitable for that month on their membership. So you're not losing money based on this referral offer. So 40%. So for example, your membership is $200 a month. So let's say 40% of that is $80. Brian, if you bring in your friend, you get $80. Your friend gets $80 off their first month. A couple of things that make this super successful. And remember, don't be stingy with your offer. It's okay to be very generous here. You're getting a new member, and like any member, the goal is to keep them for an extended period of time. A few things that make this a little unique and special when we talk about this. For one, most important, taking care of the person that did the referring. So if I'm giving $80 to Brian, it's one thing, hey, your membership comes out, on the 1st of May. You'll see it's not $200, it's $120. Cool. Far less impact than the way we recommend because it's going on their credit card. They may or may not check their credit card bill, and other people have no idea that happened. Alternatively, the way I would recommend it, the way we would recommend it is, hey guys, welcome to the 147 Friday class. Brian, thank you so much for bringing in your friend. What's your name? Alex. Here's that $80 for a referral fee. In a ideally nice thank you card, cash money. So think about the difference there. Now, how many of you saw Brian get $80 cash? All of you. Those of you that maybe forgot we had a, hey, why did Brian, oh, he brought somebody in. Well, I got a friend. I'm going to bring them in too. And in addition to that, very different feeling for Brian to be recognized in front of his peers and also have cash on hand than just off that credit card. Question and then question. Correct. This is assuming Alex was a member. Yeah, yeah. This wasn't like bring that homeless person in off the street. Yeah. No, yeah. No, my bad if it wasn't clear. This is so there's a couple of things to consider. If you have an onboarding program, right? This is typically taken off their first month membership, so they're in, but now they've already joined. Now the person that's getting referred, that's acceptable to take it off their membership because now we've got a sale. Hey, it's not going to be $200 this month. Actually, because Brian brought you in, it's only $120 this month. Right? But for the person doing it, and you can do this any number of ways. You have your whiteboard brief that's happening at every class. You know, you might have the referrals, the people that have done the referring, their name on the board so they know there's a card there. So whoever's running the 5 or 6 or whatever class Brian rolls into, we know to give them that card there. But it becomes a celebration in front of your friends and not just this quiet transaction that nobody recognized. Questions on that? Yes.
So if you do onboarding, the new member gets it off their onboarding fee or their first?
You can do that either way. Our typical recommendation is off their first monthly fee, right? Because the goal is to get them to join as a member. But we have seen it done that way if it's an incentive you want to do. The difference is typically if you charge for your onboarding, which many affiliates do, you also have to pay someone for it. And we don't want that onboarding to run at a loss where once they join, you know, they've already done their onboarding, you've paid your coach for that. Ideally, you have some agreements in place so Alex is going to stick around for longer than the month. But even if she doesn't, we've set this up in a way that it's still profitable. It's also if you do 2 separate sales, meaning your onboarding and your monthly sale, it's in, hey, by the way, if you join, you know you get $80 off. Any other questions on the referral? So you can go home, again, 40%, you know, if your membership's, 167 and it comes out to this decimal, just pick an even number like we said. Make it simple, make it easy to remember, buy a stack of thank you cards, and I would say don't just buy, you never know what to write inside of a thank you card. Thank you, man, right? But Brian, it's been so great to see you transition from strongman to a real sport like CrossFit.
If you are struggling with building your team, running the administrative portion of your gym, or just don't know what to do with regard to your strategy, that is exactly the things that we help people with inside of Affiliate University. So if you're trying to build a better box so that you can provide more impact to more people via this thing called CrossFit, we'd love to help you. So click the link somewhere on this video, set up a call, and we'll chat with you soon.
Just kidding, but make it unique to that person, reminding them of something positive they've experienced at the box. Let's talk about Bring a Friend Week. Again, when we talk about promotion, 4 to 6 weeks out. So if you've not run one yet, look at your calendar, make sure, I don't know if doing the math is that July 4th week might not be most ideal, but, pick a week. Every area has some uniqueness. If school's off, if school's not off, but think about when you're going to run it, and we start working backwards 4 to 6 weeks out. Now we've got to hype it up. So this is something that should live on the whiteboard. We need to think about our client communications, right? What in that newsletter, is it out there? Hey guys, don't forget Bring a Friend Week is coming, the week of, June 23rd. Post it on social media 2 to 3 times per week. Something to consider with social media is you don't have to have 18 different Bring a Friend Week posts. You can have 3 to 5 that you cycle through and repeat on a consistent basis over the 4 to 6 weeks. Talk to your members and ask who they're bringing. Hey, Caleb, you have a buddy? Who is it? Scott. He's already a member. Do you have another buddy? You think they want to check out CrossFit? You have to talk to your members. I think a big mistake as affiliate owners we make is being afraid to ask, right? We did a podcast yesterday with one of our clients, Mitch. So what's one piece of advice you have for affiliate owners? Ask for help, right? And who's gotten something positive in their life via the magic of CrossFit or fitness? I know not everyone here runs a, right? Those of you not raising your hands, why are you doing this if you have not gotten, what, we all have. And it's important to remember you have other people in your life that want to experience that as well. And as the owner or as a coach, it's important to remind them of that. Hey, you've dropped 20 pounds. You don't have a friend that wants to do that. You met your significant other here. There's so many amazing stories that happen there. Don't be afraid to ask them for it. Talk to your members about who they're bringing. Hand out invitations. And here's the big takeaway. Over-communicate. Over-communicate this. We think, hey, we sent it out in the newsletter. We put 3 posts up. Everybody knows about it, right? They don't. They've got busy lives. You're not popping up every time they log on to Instagram. Your newsletter went to spam or you had other announcements in there. Over-communicate. And that really goes for anything you're doing at the box. It takes 3 to 5 different types of communication for your members to remember it. Yeah, no, go for it.
And you may answer this, but what is your suggestion on when just about everybody says, all of my friends are here? That's a lie, obviously.
It may or may not be, right? Like literally all of my, yep, all my friends are actually right here in this room. I would say, well, there are people that might experience that. And it's also important to not make them feel bad. And then I would also, just ask them other questions about what they do. Do the kids have activities? It's not only their friends, but other people in their lives. Marcus, were you going to add to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's helping them think outside of the friends, it's your coworkers, it's your people in you, what else do you do? Oh, I'm gonna play pool every Thursday. None of your pool buddies wanna be fit like you? It's like a couple of questions will expose to them, oh, you're right, I do know other people.
And I kind of brushed over this, but you can get creative and hand out those cards because cool, maybe they're not their best friend and I don't have a ton of conversations, but like Marcus said, will you go to the pool hall every Thursday? Can you throw a stack of these down? Like they know more people, whether it's the pool hall or church or the kids' activity, encourage them. And that's also where it's important to remind them of that referral offer.
Can you talk about the invitation?
Oops, sorry, Danny.
The invitation cards a little more?
Yeah, we just,
Like you give them to members to hand out to friends, like what, any other insights on that?
I would, certainly have as much information as you can about the affiliate and whether that's a QR code that leads to the website or just the address on there. But make it super simple where if someone were to pick this up, whether they were explained to them or not what this is, it's obvious. Keep it simple, but also make it clear enough that they know what to expect.
I was just gonna say, what she asked about, I've run into many times, like being open a long time, and I found it very helpful. I don't know how it is. I'm not a CrossFit. I'm assuming it's similar. Like you have seasonal times where maybe you get more members during the year at certain times. Running or bring a friend shortly after those seasonal times usually leads to you having more people that don't have all their friends at the gym yet, because there's more new people in your gym that haven't been there for many years and started, going to dinner with their gym friends and all that stuff. It's helped a lot with bringing a friend.
Absolutely, and we'll get to it, but 3 to 4 times a year is ideal for this, and it's typically because of that seasonally. Let's talk about the programming, because as we know, for many people, intimidation is a real thing when it comes to CrossFit, and we want to make this I like to refer to Bring a Friend Week as simple, not easy. Who remembers their first CrossFit workout? What was it? Hey, relatively simple. We're gonna do one movement. You're gonna get to the ground, and get up on that pull-up bar. Anybody have a crazy complex first workout that they did? You did? What was it?
The Spartan 300, like the 20.
Oh, that was crazy. Remember you had to do like windshield wipers or something back in the day? But in reality, those were relatively simple movements, right? Just a lot of reps. What's that? Who gave you JT as your first day?
Really?
Yeah, 37 minutes.
He's still doing the push-ups in the
Told me
back.
how great CrossFit was, and so I went on CrossFit.com and saw the workout. I was like, all right, I guess I'll do this shit.
Yeah, but hey, let's again, when we think about simple, not easy. Hey, you're gonna do handstand push-ups, you're gonna do dips, and you're gonna do. It's not that complex in reality, versus double unders, barbell snatching, right? Pistols. It's exactly so. All of you named relatively simple workouts, and simple, but certainly not easy. My first workout, Cindy, right? Still devastating to this day, but still, completely simple. Plan workouts for bigger classes and more new people. And again, I always think if you do this well, other than the fact there's more strangers in the box, your members will not say to you, hey, the programming was different this week. Obvious. Avoid high skill movements, make the workouts fun, a few partner workouts and warm-up games. And here's a big one. Time priority over tasks. Now, if Bring a Friend Week is 7 days, I don't recommend 7 AMRAPs, but maybe rather than skewing 4 tasks, task priority 3 time, we invert it because of this reason. Task priority, what's something that happens at the end? What's that? Well, it has the potential to take longer, right? And they may have the potential of being last, and and the infamous circle like slowly gathering around you, right? You ever have a member that hates that? Anybody have members that hate it? Do you ever give them this one? I've got a great way for that to never happen to you. Go faster. Yeah, do that but better. Do that but to be much better. Time priority, hey, 20 minutes, AMRAP, what happens? We're all finished at the exact same time. So just something to consider when doing the programming. I hope you've taken a lot from those 3 things, and I hope that you take the most from this, because Bring a Friend Week is not just about those 7 days. It really begins from day 1 when you're telling your people about it and they start reaching out to you. And this is where you have to nurture those leads. Before Bring a Friend Week, simple things such as creating a registration form. I like to have a clipboard near the front. Like I said, hey, Caleb, who you bringing? My buddy Scott. Cool. Put his name down on here. Put his phone number there. Now I can reach out. Now also thinking after Bring a Friend Week, if Scott didn't join immediately, I've got that list there, and I know who brought who, and I can, hey, Caleb, your buddy Scott, he hasn't been in. Oh, I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to get him to come in. So we have another contact point there, but we can also remind, it was Scott, right? We can also remind Scott, hey, your buddy Caleb brought you in. We've got some touch points. Email and phone number. How many of you often take the easy way out with leads and text and email? I know we hate getting phone calls, but that is also the difference between you and other gyms. Pick up that phone. I'm so excited to see you. Here are the things you want to consider. Do you have any experience? Get to know them. It starts weeks before they arrive. So by the time they arrive, they're like, oh, there's my buddy. He's the guy that's been talking to me. It's very easy to default to, well, I shot him a text. Reach out to him. Respond like you would talk to a normal lead. And then ask what class they're coming to. Very different than, hey, we'll see you next week. Hey, we'll see you Monday at the 9 a.m. class. Coach Marcus is excited to see you. He's all ready for you. Setting an appointment time with them matters. And remember, this is a hot lead. This is like a burning hot lead. This is a member of your gym brought somebody to you. They are ready to join. Now, during Bring a Friend Week, no different than you would with everyone, build rapport, learn their names, goals, hobbies, families, and careers. Something we talk about is Ford, knowing every member, but especially the leads Ford: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. If you know that about someone at your affiliate, they're never leaving. They're Ford. And again, no different than the first class. Hey, when are you coming back? I think one of the best retention tools you can use is that simple question. When are you coming back? There's, again, no different than handing Brian $80. There's something mentally where I've just made an appointment, whether I thought I did or not. I've given someone else an ability to hold me accountable. I'm coming back tomorrow for the noon. Cool, I'll see you then. Send thank you texts after class and midweek to check in and get them into their next class. You can't overdo it. Whether it's during Bring a Friend Week or after, there's no such thing as over communication, right? How many of you get emails regularly from companies you don't care about and don't unsubscribe, right? Yeah. And what happens when you're like, okay, that was one too many? You unsubscribe. Well, I tell people that ask, how much is too much? You'll know. They'll tell you, hey, please stop responding, stop texting me this much. But you have to remember, they've not created the habit of coming to the gym yet. And you're not bothering them. You're holding them accountable to something they want. They came in. They want to change. They want to experience the same thing you and your members have experienced. Bring a Friend weekends. Ideally, throughout this, towards the end, you're preparing them to join. We've talked about the referral fee. We've talked about the memberships. But now Monday and Tuesday and ongoing is a lot of communication. Reach out. Did they enjoy it? Have they thought about joining? Ask for a Google review. Ask for referrals. Great opportunity to increase the number of Google reviews. Who doesn't have a sign up at their box for Google reviews? Does not. Who does not have something? So many of you do? Cool. What's that? Yeah, that's a new thing, huh? Tap card. Here's what I recommend. That's a great one. Make something. Here's what I would put on it. You're sitting here anyway on your phone. Guess where this goes? Bathroom. Please leave us a Google review. I think you'll see a big spike in Google reviews simply from adding that. But then,
Make sure bathroom's clean.
then ask them, hey, do you know anybody that might come in? We've got this referral fee that you're about to get. Run this play 3. I would go as high as 4 times per year, and it will work. We saw it here, right? Some of you had 10 in a coach. Some of you had a handful. We've had ones that have in the 20s. Here's some examples from our clients. 32 people come through, 5 people, 65 friends, as many as 22 people. And it goes back to how you grow your box. Keep members longer. Everything you do matters here. But again, it's important to remember, getting a whole bunch of new people in is insignificant if some of them are running out the bottom of that bucket. We need to make sure we're always taking care of our current members. I'm sure all of you have heard the expression, it's easier and cheaper to keep someone than gain a new one. So we always have to be taking care of our current members. And that's something we do. Coach affiliates to build a high-performing sales system. Bulletproof retention. Optimize your onboarding, develop your entire coaching staff, create a consistent high-quality experience, and implement attendance strategy. We believe in the 50-50 method, where 50% is business, but the other 50% is what's happening on the floor. This is Brian Boucher out of Mid-State CrossFit. 65 friends and family came for Bring a Friend Week. We were plus 16, but it'll probably be plus 22. We hired an admin person as well as a culture and community coordinator and doubled my pay. He left his job. What was he, Fern? He was a flight paramedic, retired from that, and him and his wife are both full-time with their 2 children at Mid-State.
Not retired, he just left that job.
Oh, he just left. Okay, well, he's gone. He left his job. Longhorn Cross Bring a Friend Week was insane. I signed up 10 new people on a Saturday morning alone. CrossFit Huakai on Hawaii. Our second ever Bring a Friend Week, we signed up 8 people in 24 hours. We ended up having 50 people total come, and we signed up 20 people. How many of you would benefit from 20 new members? Just curious. A handful of you? I want to be clear. Brian, Emily, Kapua, nothing incredibly unique about the 3 of them, other than they care immensely about their community. And all 3 of them take great care of their community. And that's what it's all about. You know, they're not churning a lot of people, and the members that they currently have want to expose their friends to this. We stack Bring a Friend Week with a bulletproof retention strategy, a high-performing sales system. You will see exponential growth for your affiliate.
Affiliate owners, if you want to grow revenue, what you need to understand is impact first. Offering the best classes and changing people's lives is how you get the revenue that you are searching for inside of the affiliate. And that starts with running fantastic classes here inside of the box. If that is something that you are looking for, we've got world-class coaches that are going to help you do that and help you run a better box. Everything from the coaching on the floor to the systems on the back end, we're going to cover it all. Book a call. We'll see you guys on the inside.
What questions do you have for me? Yes.
So we have an onboarding process, and usually it's one-on-one, it's individualized. When you have a big Bring a Friend Week, are you putting it out there for them to stay individualized, or are you doing a group onboarding at that time?
There's no right answer for that. There's many different ways to run that, because it is a weird notion like, hey, you just came in for a week, did this thing. You know we kept it a little simple for them, but now we need you to take a step back. So we've seen it run a few different ways, and I'll let Fern or Marcus chime in if they want, but we've seen it where it's like, cool, you've done Bring a Friend Week. That was essentially your onboarding. So we can bypass that. Now, for some people, onboarding is a revenue generator, so they don't want to bypass it. But we also have to be aware for some potential members, it's an obstacle, right? So now they're already in. But we can see it then go to the standard process of one-on-one like you run, or, yeah, we are going to do it because all of a sudden we've got 22 new members. I don't have the bandwidth to do 22 one-on-ones. So, hey, these are the times we're going to put it together. Maybe we bring the price down a little bit because it's a group model instead of one-on-one, and then get them into the box. Fern?
Yeah, the foolproof strategy there is prepare for both scenarios because you don't really know what the outcome of that is going to be. Right? So, and you will see some fluctuation during different times of the year, and that's a longer term strategy. It's like, oh, this didn't perform well, I'm going to move this on the calendar to find the optimal spots where I get very consistent numbers in there. But plan for both scenarios. Plan for, I get 5, I can facilitate the standard one-on-one for those 5 people. I'm like, oh, shit, we did it, 22. Plan B, hey guys, we're going to run this group version, here's what that looks like. And that way, it doesn't really matter to you. You get to provide an incredible experience in either scenario based on what's provided to you, and you're ready for each one. Yeah, because they don't know the difference. That's the key component. They have no idea what your onboarding is. They're just like, this is what we're doing. I guess this is what we're doing. All right, and then you just go in there. So be prepared for both. And then if you have staff that is going to be involved in that, then obviously you got to get them up to speed as well.
Yeah, and something to consider during Bring a Friend Week. This is for all of you, whether it's affiliate owner or head coach, your opportunity to shine as well. So this is a week you and the staff, like Fern just said, prepare your staff. You need to bring it. This is their first exposure. And for many of you, if you're at the box and your other coaches are on, this is your opportunity to be the gym mayor, coach classes with them, help out with them. So that way, if you know, like for instance, wow, we are going to hit that 22 and we're probably not going to do onboarding, I should probably step in and give them a little more feedback on their movement. So when they're ready for class, you know, they're able to go right to it. Bill?
Do any of your gyms restrict which classes, like you can come to the 6 a.m. or the 6:30 p.m., but not all of them if you have a busy class load? Does that deter it?
I've never seen one of our gyms purposely do that, and I think the reason being you want to make it as easy as possible for these people. Now, if your gym has a class that's capped, which I've seen before, you probably are keeping that class capped, but that's unusual. No, make it as open as possible. And again, for you, Bill, if it's, well, my 6:30 is usually busy and I've only got one coach, well, set your alarm that Monday, and you know you might have to be there as well with them. This is think about if 22 people joined your gym next week, what impact would that have on your revenue? I mean, if you're $150 a month, that's potentially $3,000 a month. 12 times, 13 times if you bill every 4 weeks, it's $40,000. Like Fern said, Boucher didn't retire; he left, and that might have been right after he left, right? He had that incredible.
Yeah, because he was there.
Because he was exactly where we've seen some bring a friend weeks. It definitely ebbs and flows, like Fern said, but the ones that do the best, they start early with that promotion. It is like, I don't have a great example. I'm a little older, so I was gonna say Woodstock. I don't know if that's a great example. Ended with a big fire and all. What's that? Coachella? No, there's no fur coats and whatnot, but it should be like a 7-day rager at your box. Like that's what's that? Burning Man. A little less MDMA, right? A little more caffeine, but it should just be so much freaking fun. And that comes from you first, the coaches. Your members are going to be so excited. And it should be a great reminder for you as well of just like, oh, this is why I do this thing. Fern?
I think another element in the room maybe is because we do hear this, they're like, I just can't handle that many. I just don't want that many people in the gym. And I would urge you to really think about, if I did get 60, that's a solvable problem. It is a solvable problem. And I would contend that you do want 60 people to come into your gym. What you don't want is for them to have a bad experience. So what version of 60 people coming in that week would be a good experience? Dial that one up. So this is where the nuance of how I write the programming matters, how many coaches I put on the floor, how I communicate with them prior to, during, and after starts to really matter so that they're prepared and we can streamline having waivers signed beforehand and we've given them all the pertinent information before they walk in the door so they're not wandering around in the bathroom like not knowing where they're going. Because that can be a real nightmare, right? So this is where the details matter, which is, hey, if you have 7 people showing up for that class and they're all, trying to sign that waiver on that terrible keyboard where the buttons don't work at your gym because it's got chalk stuck in it, you're gonna have a log jam. And now the class is run and running late and this is now a nightmare. So it is all the things that you're worried about, they're solvable problems. And we would urge you to really just kind of like broaden that aperture for what you think is possible for that class and make yourself uncomfortable. Here's what happened. You will be a better gym owner and coach because of that. Like having to solve what happens if I have another 8 people on the floor. I'm like, let's solve it. Hey, this workout doesn't work. And I'm like, you know what you should do? You should change that workout. Right? Yeah. Right? If that workout doesn't work, it doesn't work. Write a new one right there on the spot. Be like, hey guys, we're changing this to an EMOM format, or you're gonna start there, everybody's gonna rotate every 60 seconds, and now this is just gonna be an awesome time for everybody. Hire Jay, he'll come be the DJ for that day.
80s rock. 80s prepare for Def Leppard. Hey, you know how many people can do JT at once? A lot of you.
Just really, I would urge you, because I know some people get up there like, man, that's a lot of people. I'm scared of it. Don't be scared of it. I promise you, I made this thing like by accident, like 6 or 7 years ago, and there's some of the funnest weeks at the box, having all these people in there. So embrace it. It's a fantastic time.
You said run it 3 to 4 times a year, and then what are suggested best times of year, I guess?
That really is unique to the area. Sometime early in the year is always nice when people, I like to wait a week or two, right? Get the New Year's resolutions out of the way. Some people are going to come in anyway, or some people are going to have tried a standard gym, failed at that, come in. And then from there, 3 is great. If you're finding, hey, I can run another one in the spring, then summer, then fall, that's great too. But 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, there's some high. There's some times for sure that we don't want to do it, right? And that's where you would typically start. Like, definitely don't do it in December.
Right.
You know, if you are going to run at the beginning of the year, like Jay said, probably stay away from the first 2 weeks of January. We're just going to get back in the groove right there. Push it to the back end of January. You know when most of like what population of your gym members have kids, and hey, don't run during spring break. Nobody's going to be there and show up. So just kind of look at that calendar. Hey, what are my known bogeys on the calendar that are typically like down periods in the gym, and avoid those. And then if you really want to get strategic with this, go back and look at your revenue for the previous 12 months, and it'll kind of look like this maybe for some of you. And you look at those little troughs. Take those and stick them right in front of that, and those troughs will go away.
One thing Fern said that I want to brush over, one simple way to also make it better is get a QR code for your waiver, right? And then also for Bring a Friend Week, even if you're all exclusively digital, just print out a bunch of them. Again, little things like that matter. And we don't want to start the class late. We want to keep it simple for the potential.
Are we saying
There,
though,
there.
if I'm bringing a friend, I'm bringing them every single day that week?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's certainly data to support the more times they come in that week, the more likely they are to join. But that's where it's on us. I mean, they might not come for the first time till Friday. They may still join. But that's where it's on us on Monday, provide an exceptional experience. And then also, hey, when am I going to get you back? Reach out to them. You coming back tomorrow? Reach out to them again. But the more you can get them in that week, for sure, the better.
That's definitely the option and even the preferred option.
I mean, if someone's like, hey, I have a friend he wants to come every day, I'm like, cool, bring him twice. Like, that's fine.
Correct.
Yeah, the goal is, like you said, the more they come, the more likely they are to sign up. So when you have that conversation with them before Bring a Friend Week ever starts, when you're calling and introducing yourself and getting them psyched about the week, you're also saying, all right, so usually we want to see you 3, 4 times, 5 times this week. What days work best for you? Do you prefer mornings or evenings? Evenings, great. We've got a 4 or 5 to 6 o'clock. Oh, 6 o'clock, perfect. Are you like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of guy? Go that far in advance. So you're setting the expectation of, we're going to see you a bunch. And then you're also following up every time being like, awesome, so see you tomorrow or see you Wednesday. And keep notes on all of it. You have to go, the more all out you go. I know this sounds crazy. You're like, well, I did it with 60 people? Yep, do that with 60 people. Plan on operating at level 10 for 10 days straight. But when you do, the outcome is 20 great new members. These are not just regular old people off the street. These are people that were brought in by your people. Literally the highest quality lead that exists. So just plan on operating 1,000%. You're gonna have to sleep for 2 days afterwards to catch up, but go ham on all of it.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, just think about the change in revenue. That was one Bring a Friend Week. I don't know that you'll run 4 that bring in 20 members, but if over the course of the year it's 30 or 40 members, that's life-changing for the box. Brian?
So I always done Bring a Friend Week. It's literally, they had to come with that person that was the member. And it doesn't sound like you guys make that.
I think it's important the first time, but I also wouldn't limit it. If you're like, hey, my buddy Brian really wants to come, I can't make the nighttime class, cool. Send him in, I'll be here. Point being, minimize any barriers we have to entry.
If you are struggling with building your team, running the administrative portion of your gym, or just don't know what to do with regard to your strategy, that is exactly the things that we help people with inside of Affiliate University. So if you're trying to build a better box so that you can provide more impact to more people via this thing called CrossFit, we'd love to help you. So click the link somewhere around this video, set up a call, and we'll chat with you soon.